What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson, man. And in today's video, you guys already know I'm going to be bringing you guys my initial thoughts and reaction after the Cowboys had beaten the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, it's still 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't make the video until after the game's over," especially with what happened last week. But last week was Aaron Rodgers, and we're playing Kirk Cousins, so. I know this game is over. We just kicked the field goal just recently. Right now, Brett Maher made it. So now it's 40-3. I'll update the score title at the end once the game is officially over. But now I'm going to go over the ways how I said last night of how we're going to beat the Vikings and see if any of them reign true. And let's see. So starting off, we stopped the run. We did that today. I had no question that I did have some questions that we were going to stop the run, but trust me, after that first drive, that first Minnesota Vikings started off with that sack fumble, that automatically set the tone right there, and I was extremely happy off of that. Obviously, being a Cowboys fan, of course, you would be really happy about doing that. So we did really well today. Stopping the run. We only allowed them to have 75 rushing yards right now. I would love for that number to come down, especially in a blowout win. I understand there's not a whole lot of critique that you could be doing in a blowout win, but it's just it's always the little things that when you play a playoff opponent, that they come back and they look at these certain games and, they try to mess you up for it. So, right now, we were just going, and then also, secondly, we didn't let the supporting cast of the Vikings tear us up, which we didn't. And we also shut down Justin Jefferson as well. We only held Kirk Cousins to 105 passing yards. Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison both, like I said, counted supporting cast. They only combined for 12 carries and 75 yards. T.J. Hockenson today was our lead reception player today with 5 receptions, 34 yards. Justin Jefferson was 3 receptions for 33 yards, and Thielen was 2 catches for 25 yards. So we did really well doing that. We did amazing today on the ground. Thanks in part to Tony Pollard, like always. We always do great doing that. Ezekiel Elliott in his first game back had 2 touchdowns. He didn't have an amazing day on the ground, but again, like I said, he did help with the rush total. So Pollard had 15 carries for 80 yards. I'm about to go into his receiving in a little bit. We had Ezekiel Elliott for 15 carries, 42 yards. He averaged 2.8 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. Dak Prescott rushed the ball today with 3 carries, 16 yards, and Malik Davis is still toting the rock right, after we get this stop. So he had 4 carries for 9 yards with 2.2 carries. One thing I want to talk about with running the ball. When Dak Prescott goes out there and he runs the ball and it's scaring me, he needs to learn how to slide. I know they were teaching him, in 2021 after, what happened in 2020. I'm not going to talk about that too much. But after what happened in 2020, I would believe that, I understand his nature. I understand who he is. He knows that he's a big dude. He's a big country boy, 6'2", 220, 230, something like that. He's a big guy, so I understand he doesn't want to always slide, but I felt like he needs to slide, of course. He's our quarterback, and we definitely need him down the stretch, no matter what other ignorant Cowboy fan might think. So we got to take care of the ball. We did that today. We had no turnovers. We forced them to turn the ball over. We had a sack fumble with Michael Parsons. That was our big turnover from today, and I believe our only turnover that counted during the first half. We had no dumb penalties. And we're just going to quickly go over these stats. Dak Prescott was 22 of 25, 276 yards with 2 touchdowns. That was something that I mentioned yesterday, that I don't want Dak Prescott throwing no more than 30 passes. And even though that we did throw the ball 25 times, we ran the ball 37 times, for a combined 147 yards, which was great. We had a total yards of 423 yards. We averaged 6.8 yards per play. We only punted one time, and there was a stat that every single time that we touched the ball, we scored points, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown. We were 11 of 15 on third down efficiency, and Minnesota was 1 for 10. So we were 73% conversion rate on third down, which was really great. We ran 62 plays towards their 47. They allowed 7 sacks, like I said, and we caused a turnover, and we won the time of possession battle by 12 minutes, something like that. So we did really well today. I'm really proud of this team. Great resiliency for them to bounce back, especially with the Green Bay Packers. We did really well with that. I forgot. So the MVP of today's game, obviously, offensively, is Tony Pollard. He had 6 receptions for 109 yards, receiving with 2 touchdowns. Plus, he also ran the ball with 80 yards. So he got 200 total yards today on the ground, through the ground and air combined. CeeDee Lamb was caught 5 balls, 45 yards. And he essentially sealed the game when Dak Prescott rolled out to his right and threw that nice sideline pass to CeeDee Lamb. That was a really nice pass right there, which led for that second attempt from Brett Maher having to kick another 60-yard field goal. He made the first one, made it, he made it with plenty of leg left. Then he kicked it the second time because the Vikings, they were trying to, obviously, and it was funny because Brett Maher had kicked the ball. There was no whistles, nothing of a dead play leading up to it. Then all of a sudden you turn around, now they wanted to see and check the review of the catch, this and that. Brett Maher went in, kicked the second field goal, made it. And, that essentially put away the game because at halftime we were up by 20 points. It was 23-3. Then we went out there, we got the stop coming out of half. We got the ball again. That's when Tony Pollard was lined up with a backer. Tony Pollard beat the route. Dak Prescott saw him, floated to Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard took it to the house. Then that was 30-3. Then we went down there. We drove the ball again. Give the ball to Zeke Elliott. That made it 37-3. And then, Brett Maher kicked the field goal a couple minutes ago. So to make it 40-3. This game's over. They're putting in the backups, as they should, because now this game's over with. Great resilient win. Now on to the Giants that we play on Thursday football, Thanksgiving. So, since we're playing them on Thanksgiving, it's going to be on a very short week. It's very key that the Cowboys, like what they're doing right now, you put in the backups, the second, third stringers. I'm glad they're doing that. Parsons is dealing with injury. He didn't show it today, but there are some times in certain games where you've seen late in the game where you saw in L.A., you've seen it last week in Green Bay. He was nursing some sort of injury, so it's great that he's getting a little bit of rest, especially when they have to come back and play on Thursday. Zeke, even though Zeke got 2 touchdowns, they were very short yardage plays. So, and I saw he was a bit gimpy today as well. So he needed to definitely sit down because he's still not 100% back from his knee. DeMarcus Lawrence, same thing. Getting him out was crucial. He was hurt, nursing with the injury. And CeeDee Lamb, I will sit down, sitting everybody else down, which is great because we all, they all got to play in a couple of days. So I'm really proud of that. We played the Giants. They didn't look that well today at all against the Detroit Lions. So that gives me even more confidence because I already know that we're going to beat the Giants. I'm not saying it's like a for sure thing, but you lose to the Lions, a team that we beat, and some of their losses has been against weaker opponents this year, other than us. Some of their losses have came against some like weak opponents they shouldn't have lost to. So, going out to New York, we played 3 home games in a row. We play the Giants, of course, on Thanksgiving. Then 10 days from then, we play the Indianapolis Colts, which are trash for not beating the Eagles today. Then, we got Houston the week after that. either way, if we went to Houston or they play us in Dallas, that's still a home game. You're not traveling far between Dallas and Houston. That's probably like an hour drive, if that, depending on traffic. Then you look at it, and then after that, you got the Jaguars. So this is where I see the Cowboys heating up again, and let's go on this mini win streak. You're not going to get any healthier because the more NFL games you play, there's no way that people get more healthier. But we do in a sense because we do get back Tyron Smith, which I'm really excited about. That's what I'm more happy about than anything else, is getting Tyron Smith. Getting him back, adding him to this offensive line, have him at left tackle, Tyler at left guard, and then you stick with everybody else from the center all the way down to the right side. I feel completely confident in. So what that leads me to believe, and there was reports speaking on about Odell. I just really try not to keep talking about things that that aren't going to happen yet. I did that one video talking about Odell, and then I didn't want to keep pushing fake content on like every single time that Odell and the Cowboys are brought up. I didn't want to keep making posts about it. But apparently, there are by multiple resources like Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport. They're saying that OBJ has narrowed down his two teams to both Dallas. My bad, with the Dallas and the Giants. My bad. So with that being said, with those two things, your OBJ sweepstakes comes down this Thursday because you blown out Minnesota. Everyone overhyped Minnesota, thinking that there was this great team because they beat Buffalo and everything like that. Then you turn around, they don't look that great. And plus, that's Kirk Cousins. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play with Kirk Cousins. And then also, you just look at some of this team that he narrowed it down to. Buffalo, they've been on a game, slide, man. They won today. Of course, they blown out the Browns, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play over there in cold Buffalo, New York. Green Bay, they went back to them normal selves, of course, after beating us. They lose to the Titans. And then now, you look at us, then the Niners, they're skeptical also. They don't have a great quarterback in Garoppolo. Yeah, he gets the job done, but he's not nobody that can take over games or anything like that. So we knew he wasn't going to go there. So now it leads down to the Cowboys and Giants, apparently. So like I said, if the Cowboys want to add Odell, it's crucial that they win this game on Thursday because you beat the Giants. You go to 8-3, and then now you got Odell added, and then you get Tyron Smith back. I put this team up there with how everyone talks about Philly, has this high regard for Philly. I would put Dallas up in that category because why not? We have a better quarterback than Philly. We have a better defense than Philly. They would have a better wide receiver core, but I felt like you get CeeDee Lamb, you get Gallup coming back somewhat. I'm not saying he's going to look like prime, like his, Michael Gallup, his prime stuff, like how he did in seasons prior. But shoot, you get about 70%, 75% of Michael Gallup, and you can get what Odell did those last couple of games for what he did against the Rams, including playoffs. This is definitely a team you do not want to see first round. Other than Tampa, playing Tom Brady wouldn't mind. But, let's say you're the 6th seed and you got to play against Seattle. I won't mind going to Seattle and playing them with, playing them with Odell, Gallup, this defense playing amazing. I wouldn't mind having to go play at Seattle because this was like a playoff atmosphere-like game against Minnesota because we had to win this game because you don't want to go to 6-4. You're stuck at the 6th seed. You're most likely going to be the 3rd seed in the NFC East. You don't want to fall into 3rd place or anything like that. So it was crucial that Dallas Cowboys got their win today, and it was a statement game to let you know that Dallas Cowboys are for real, and we're not here to play. So, great for them, man. So I'm glad the Cowboys won. I'll see you guys on Thursday. And yeah, man, that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed, and happy Thanksgiving to any and all who celebrate it. So yeah, see you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.